Всем привет, с вами Чавапа, и сегодня я хотел посмотреть на игру с названием «Пернатые Копы». Да, мой друг, главный герой у нас петушок. Это даже больше не игра, а кинофильм, в котором ты принимаешь малую долю своей значимости. С порога нам закидывают пиздатую цитату, с тонной смысла.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old. My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years.
Мы выяснили, что нашего петушка зовут Сонни.
Of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too.
Пернатые копы, кровавые курочки, наследие.
Still, what do I expect? We're living in a vast experiment, and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong?
Блять, ты кто? Нахуй так пугать?
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time.
Так, это наша потная берлога, курятник, грубо говоря.
Who is this dame, anyway? And what the cluck is she doing in my apartment on New Year's Eve? You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you...
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one, and it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Ah, thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
Надеюсь, до секса не дойдет.
Every whiskey has the same color nowadays. Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever had. I promised myself I'd write
Охуеть, свет работает. Инновации какие-то.
We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press. I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever. That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is received...
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift, then carved into a
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some...
Please, that's why I'm here.
Так, и чё тут делать надо? Я хуй пойму. Сейчас натыкаю куда-нибудь, может. Сделаю вид, что все понял.
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time...
Так, надо допросить этого сайгака. Ясно.
Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Feather.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me,
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Ну и все, хули. Дальше просто тыкаем по вопросам.
You're not very confident. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, excuse me. I'm just a bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
Breaking into the apartments of strangers isn't that big a deal. Some people do it as a hobby.
Please don't make fun of me, Mr. Featherland. This is hard for me as it is.
You're right. Sorry. Tell me, what's your star sign?
My what? My stars?
I like to be unpredictable sometimes. It's an old detective thing. Just answer the question, please.
All right. The dancer.
The dancer.
If you say so.
Why did you have to
I have my reasons. I may look like a silly
А
little
сука,
fawn,
она
and
ли?
maybe
А я
am.
думаю,
I
счет
don't doubt that
знакомое
for a
дохлое
second,
существо.
Miss Ibanez.
This day is essential to my mistress, and she thought it's all...
A message in itself, for sure. But to be honest,
You know what? I'll just take that as a compliment. Even...
were you born and raised in Clawville?
Why do you ask?
I couldn't think of anything better.
Well, I'm not from around here. I'm from Grassmore.
Where what is?
Grassmore, of course. You just asked.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it. I'm not...
Huh. Do you like to play with other animals?
Oh, for the wild ones. Am I that
I'm afraid so.
Well, I'm a little rusty, it seems. Let's change the subject, shall we? Do you even know what you want?
I'm very sorry.
What? You come in here, swaying your lovely hips like some kind of femme fatale. Make me have a drink with you.
I'm making you drink?
Well, okay, sweetheart. You had no hand in that.
I'm sorry I wasted your time, Mr. Featherland.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she...
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question.
Я хуй пойму, что выбрать. Ну пусть будет это.
I'm sure it's not intentional, but...
I'm not sure I understand you.
Cut the crap, Deborah. You're a pretty smart girl, and you can't hide that no matter how hard you try. But ever since we've been talking, I couldn't force one...
I'm sorry, Mr. Featherland, you're right. I'll try to be...
I appreciate that, ma'am. Are you in some sort of...
Nothing of the sort. There are simply things...
Then you're wasting my time.
I trust your instincts.
Yeah, and I have no other...
To be honest, no, Mr. Featherland.
Have you ever felt truly vulnerable?
Honestly, very often, Mr.
Great, because that's exactly how I feel right now.
I'm sorry if it's too unpleasant for you, but we had no one else to turn to.
You know, I get that a lot, and it never ends well.
Do you like happy endings?
Not in books or movies, but in real life it would be nice for a change. But this is Clawville.
I knew you were romantic at heart.
If what's between me and my whiskey could be called romance, then yes, maybe, a little. Tell me, Deborah, why should I...
Because my mistress trusts...
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a...
No, not...
Smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler.
Ibn Wessler, the kingpin.
Exactly.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler, this little piece...
Да вы охуели. Идите нахуй, нормальный я коп.
Behind that door lies the kingdom of... Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately...
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
Чё взглянуть? Кого взглянуть? Блять, я проебал.
Don't you want to look at it? The mess...
Yeah, of course, Deborah.
Опа, нихуя. Ну, это чисто мой набор по жизни.
She doesn't seem so dangerous. My last...
Пизда, потерялся нахуй в своих записях. Вот оно, блять. Нахуй так
I
прятать.
know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as...
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall, with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and...
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you...
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said...
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
Visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded?
No, she's really not like that. But
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club.
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko. But there's one small problem.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not...
Exactly. How did you know?
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Mr.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
My bedroom.
Thank you.
Don't mention it, Deborah. I had no other plans for today, except drink. But tell me, do you...
I'm sorry, I don't...
Thought so.
Пиздец. Чё я ищу вообще? Хуй поймешь, блять.
I don't see colors anymore. Only emptiness. Murky... Just a phone call, and a good friend of mine can take you home.
Thank you, Sonny.
Понял. Надо кому-то позвонить. Но это как нихуй
Thank
делать.
you, Sonny.
Все, вижу номер. Ща разъебемся. Я хуею. Тут подсказка есть. Вот еблан, сука.
Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
Of course not, Sonny.
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it, and now... Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to...
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me. I can always count on you. Thanks.
Don't...
You got anything planned for today?
I thought I'd visit a nightclub. It's...
Well, I didn't mean to hold you up.
I'll ask a favor of you.
I owe you a lot of...
That's true.
Could I ask you a few more questions?
Feel free, Sonny.
Пиздец. Опять потерялся к хуям. Да что не так, то, блядь.
Don't...
Do you think my whereabouts aren't as...
Do you think they ever were?
Well, I was hoping.
Clawville is a big city, but
Oh, please. Flatter...
I I've already told you more about myself than I wanted to.
Afraid you'll get your hand...
I'm afraid I already did.
So, Ibn Wessler, eh? You know you could have dropped the bomb a little earlier.
If I started with that, I'm sure you would have thrown me out.
You're right. He's one of the most dangerous gangsters in the city.
I only know he's an influential businessman.
Isn't that the same?
Not even you can see the world as that black and white. Sonny, I've already told you what I know. I've never read the message.
You really are this innocent, aren't you?
I'm not sure I get what you mean.
Let me give you some advice, sister. Leave the city and get as far as you can from the...
It's not so simple, Mr. Featherland. My mistress needs me.
Is she really that important to you? That you drive around in the dead of night to questionable places to deliver messages?
I would do more than that for her.
I see. You're...
Thank you, Mr.
Sonny, please, just... So this Natasha dame...
Look, I'm just the messenger. You have to talk to my mistress about the details.
I see, but...
Please, Sonny, let's not make this...
Okay, understood. Let's...
Thank you.
Oh, just one more...
Yes?
I don't want to say... Well, it wouldn't work as well with my feathers. Just professional cure...
Occupational hazard? There are parlors, yes. But I do it for myself.
That's,
You're one strange bird,
Well, I've been called worse. I wanted to travel the world when I was a kid, but I think I'm gonna end up dead in here, whether I like it or not. I can always count on... I don't even know what these... Take care, sweetheart.
You too.
I need a... My wife took... Why do I have the feeling these big Bambi eyes would... Just a bunch of useless... It was New Year's Eve, and I was driving, half drunk, risking my whole life's work. But still, it didn't feel any different. Every day was the same. And the 121 days I had left till my retirement seemed like an eternity. When I look out the window of the hotel room I call home, I see the same thing every day. A woman in a red nightgown dances slowly in circles to smooth music. The 9 o'clock show, with a glass of cheap bourbon and the red gown with the silent music. In the meantime, the proud city of Clawville is slowly eating itself alive. And we're still here, with nothing left to lose but our sanity, while others, the smart ones, had already gone. Molly. Does her name really upset me this much? All those years of solitude, and I still jump without question every time I hear it. And then there's Marty, my ex-partner, who hates me. But I know I have to speak with him, no matter what. Why do I feel like the past is watching me on this goddamn night? I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night.
Ну и на этом, я считаю, можно закончить наш первый взгляд на этот шедевр. Всем пока, увидимся в продолжении.